Cardinals hope to make the playoffs for the first time in over a decade this season. Will they be successful? We're about to find out. You're watching the MJ Take on Sports Fan Entertainment. MJ Take on Sports Fan Entertainment. 32 teams, 32 days, and today we're talking about the Buffalo Bills, a team that went 8-8 last season. They hope to make the playoffs. Rex Ryan hasn't made a guarantee yet, but I'm sure it's coming. Will they be successful? We're about to discuss it. We're going to look at their team, look at their strengths, their weaknesses, look at their schedule, and then we will get the hell out of here. Now, let's start with their strengths. First of all, I went with the cornerbacks. Okay, right now, Stephon Gilmore and Ronald Darby, these two combined to form one of the best cornerback tandems in the NFL. In fact, it might damn well be the best. These guys are fantastic. Right behind probably Patrick Peterson and Tyrod Matthew, and probably there's someone I'm forgetting right now off the top of my head. But damn it, they're near the top, and they're fantastic. And I expect Ronald Darby to really solidify himself as a shut down corner in the NFL this season. Look out for Ronald Darby. Now behind them you have Sterling Moore as a slot cornerback and a pretty damn good slot cornerback. Now behind him though, there's not much. Nico Roby had a down year last year, but we've seen him be okay in the past. Then behind him, there's really nothing. So we'll see how the depth there is, but for right now, when you have a 1-2-3 punch like that, I'm on board. The cornerbacks are a strength for me. Moving on. I also like the tight ends, Charles Clay, Chris Gregg behind him, who's also a decent player, so I think the tight ends are good. Charles Clay, the main thing with him, stay healthy. If he's healthy, he's good. And then the last strength for me, running backs, LeSean McCoy. I've always been a huge LeSean McCoy fan. I also think he's probably, like a top 6-7 running back in the NFL. Got a little dinged up last year, but with 4.4 yards per carry, the guy's still really good. And then behind him right now, Reggie Bush, who you signed. I want to believe that Reggie Bush still has some more left in the tank. He won't be as good or as productive as Carlos Williams was last year, but I think he can be pretty freaking good. And then Mike Gillislee behind him. I'm not a big Mike Gillislee fan at all, but we'll see whether or not he even makes the team. I think there's someone else that's possibly challenging for a spot. Oh yeah, Jonathan Williams from Arkansas, the Arkansas Razorbacks, who's been challenging. He was a 5th round pick this year. Hopefully he beats out Mike Gillislee, because I'm not a big Mike Gillislee fan at all. He's been bouncing around for good reason. So with that said, I like the running backs, okay? From there, we have some positions that are neither strengths nor weaknesses. Let's get into those. Quarterback, Tyrod Taylor, pretty close to being a strength, to be quite honest with you. He was absolutely great last year, but a little bit of a game manager. I mean, let's just call it what it is. He had a little over 3,000 yards. Yes, he missed 2 games, but a little over 3,000 yards. If he would have played all 16 games, he would have had probably, 3,400 yards. That's below average in the NFL. Jameis Winston, a freaking rookie, came in and threw 4,000, okay? So that's below average. Hell, I mean, all kinds of quarterbacks do more yardage than this. So he's a little bit of a game manager, but a good one. Okay, 20 touchdowns to 6 interceptions. You'll win games with that ratio, and then he can run it as well, get some rushing touchdowns, get some rushing yards. He's a good quarterback in the NFL. The only question is, when these teams get some more film on him, when they get to, really dissect him and start to bring some safeties over the top to take away some of these deep balls, how will he do? Can he be intricate in terms of the short to intermediate passing game and be really voluminous there? We're going to have to see that, but I have faith in Tyrod Taylor. We look at the wide receivers real quick. Sammy Watkins on one side. Huge Sammy Watkins fan. I think it's a little unfortunate that he plays for y'all, to be quite honest with you, because I think if he played for Green Bay or New England or even someplace like Tennessee or Tampa Bay, just someplace where they throw the ball more, this guy could have 1,500 yards. We've been talking about this guy being right up there with the best wide receivers in the league. I mean, we get it. We get it. Me and you, we get that he's that good. A lot of the casual fans in the NFL don't. I think that's kind of unfortunate for his sake, but whatever. Behind him, Robert Woods, who's a number 2 wide receiver. right? He's not a great number 2 wide receiver, probably a lower tier, but he's a number 2. Just stay healthy, be a little better with your routes and your catching ability, be more like the 2014 Robert Woods than the 2015 Robert Woods, and I'll like you a little more. Number 3, Marquise Goodwin. Now, I think this is a below average number 3. In fact, I think this is one of the worst number 3 wide receivers in the league. He's kind of a one-trick pony, a guy that can take the top off the defense, but not a very intricate route runner, not a guy that can beat you in multiple ways that I've seen, and probably, you know, he's had some catches, some slants and whatnot, but he's just not a very overall developed wide receiver, and he couldn't stay healthy last season. So we're going to have to see how he performs, but I think you really benefit from having a slot corner or slot wide receiver. You lost Percy Harvin, he retired. I thought you really should have went after a wide receiver in free agency. You didn't do it. You drafted Colby Listenby out of TCU, but he's going to take some time to develop. You also have Greg Salas and Greg Little. I think it's Greg Salas, right, and Greg Little. We'll see what those guys can contribute, but I don't think the wide receivers are bad. I don't think that they're that good, though, for me to say that they're strength. I think there's still some issues there. You really should have went after a veteran wide receiver or targeted Anquan Bolden, who was just sitting out there begging to be signed. We move on to the offensive line. Cordy Glenn on one side. I mean, I really like the left side. Cordy Glenn on one side, Richie Incognito next to him. He stopped bullying his own teammates. Now he's bullying the defensive lineman. Good. Center, Eric Wood, one of the better centers in the league. So I think from the middle left, it's good, but then the right side is bad. John Miller starting at right guard, not a big fan of him at all. And then Jordan Mills starting at right tackle. I mean, this right tackle position, they've had troubles finding a guy to fit here. They've tried Cyrus Kwanjo at this spot. They tried Chantrell Henderson. Now they're trying Jordan Mills. It's not going to work out. And then they begged Cyril Richardson to help out at guard and tackle. He wasn't able to do much of that. So the right guard and the right tackle for me, that's an issue. But 3 out of 5 ain't bad. So I think you're right. Your offensive line isn't bad, so it's not a weakness for me. Now let's get into your safeties. Okay, so right now Corey Graham, who transitioned from cornerback to safety last season, formerly of the Baltimore Ravens, played well last year at that strong safety position, was surprisingly better against the run than in coverage, but I expect him to even be better this year in coverage now that he's really getting used to being in the box more, so I like that there. We move on to Aaron Williams, who's one of the better free safeties in the league. You have him, and he's good. So with that said, there's a lot of good spots with this football team. Not too many issues, but I think there's an issue. And for me, surprisingly, I thought I'd never say this last year or the year before that. I have the front 7 as a weakness for this football team. Let's dissect it. Let's start with the defensive line. And mainly it's because of just issues. I mean, the offseason for this defensive front has been absolutely horrible. I mean, it's been horrible, and it keeps getting worse and worse by each given week. Let's start with Marcel Darius, who suspended for 4 games of the drug abuse, substance abuse system in the NFL, and then now this guy is checking into rehab. He's going to be so rusty when he comes out of rehab. It's going to be ridiculous. So even though he's going to miss 4 games, he may miss more depending on how long the rehabilitation takes. I mean, for whatever he's on, I don't think it should take that long. I say probably, what is it? Today is August 21st, right? I think he checked in yesterday, August 20th or maybe August 19th. I'd be shocked if it was longer than a 45-day program. So yeah, he could come back after 5 weeks, 6 weeks, but he's going to be so rusty. They're going to have to ease him along. I don't love that at all. Marcel Darius, I'm so disappointed. I thought he was such a better man than that. So unfortunate for this team. And then also Kyle Williams, who's next to him. I mean, Kyle Williams doesn't have those issues, but I think he's a bad fit under Rex Ryan. I mean, this is a guy that only played 6 games last year, right? He got banged up, but only had 1 sack. Who are you? This is not the Kyle Williams that I'm accustomed to seeing. The guy that's making plays, the guy that's getting a good pass rush. Maybe just because he's getting old. I mean, the guy is 33 now? Maybe he's done. Maybe he's getting near done. He's not bad, but he's not that good anymore. Not a playmaker, not a game changer like we're accustomed to seeing. Adolphus Washington, you drafted him in the 3rd round. He was kind of lazy at Ohio State. Never really made up to his potential. This is a potential 1st round pick. He ended up going in the 3rd round because he wasn't able to reach his potential. Why is he going to reach it now this year, his rookie year? Don't see that. Don't love the defensive line. You're starting Jarrell Worthy in place of Marcel Darius. I don't love that. I think the defensive line has issues now. Just with Marcel Darius being gone, boom, the defensive line is a weakness. It's a huge deal. And then we move on to the linebackers. Outside, Jerry Hughes, okay, he's good, but he didn't have many big sack numbers last season. What was it, only 5 sacks? That's bad. Okay, and then you move on. I mean, he's still good. He's very good against the run, but you got to get to the quarterback, okay? Pressures are nice. Sack him, okay? Sack the quarterback. Other than him, Manny Lawson, who's just a guy at the outside linebacker position, not going to change anything. You're talking about Shaq Lawson, who's not coming back until Halloween as a ghost. You're talking about Reggie Ragland, inside though, Reggie Ragland, that got out for the entire year. You're talking about, let's move on inside now. Preston Brown, I mean, the guy, very underwhelming. Yeah, he has 120 tackles last season, but look at him. He's just a janitor. Okay, the guy just cleans up whatever comes his way. He doesn't get many run stuffs, doesn't get many tackles for loss, doesn't make any sacks, any interceptions, any game-changing plays, force any fumbles. He's just a cleaner. He's just a janitor, just a hatchet man. The guy isn't a big needle mover for me. And then next to him, you sign Zach Brown, formerly of the Tennessee Titans, and I'm a damn Tennessee Titans fan. So let me tell you this. He's going to be good in coverage. Okay, he's going to cover tight ends pretty well. He may even get an interception or two. But his run defense is poor. The guy can't tackle. The guy's always been afraid of contact. Not a very good player overall. He's not horrible. He'll do nice for you in coverage. But outside of nickel packages, he will struggle. And then behind these two, there's not much at all inside linebacker position. So I don't like the front seven. And then this is something I thought I'd never say. They signed Brandon Spikes back. I mean, he's not going to do anything. The guy's done. He hasn't played enough over the past 2 seasons. So this is a front seven that used to be such a strength for this football team. Now it's a weakness, and it's really a shame. I never thought I'd have this conversation. Now let's move on to the schedule and the outlook of this team. Here's my problem with the Bills, okay? This is my big problem. First of all, the offseason, as I said, has been a disaster, especially when it comes to that defense and that front seven. The defense last year wasn't good, okay? It really wasn't. This was an offensive team. This was a rushing team. A team that was headed by LeSean McCoy's leg, headed by Carlos Williams' leg. We haven't even talked about Carlos Williams and his issues. The guy bulked up to 261 pounds. I mean, that is ridiculous. He's gone. I know he's gone. You guys released him, but, I mean, this has been an offseason full of hell. Shaq Lawson's injury, Reggie Ragland's injury, Marcel Darius suspension, and now you're talking about Carlos Williams bulking up to 261 pounds. There's not enough good headlines here. There's some bad karma, some bad omens attached, and that is just plaguing this football team. Right? The season hasn't even begun, and when you're asking me to buy in, to have confidence in your football team with this dark cloud that has been over your team this entire season, you guys go into free agency this offseason, you guys don't sign diddly poo. You guys don't sign diddly squat. You don't go after wide receiver. You don't go after cornerback depth. You guys don't go after defensive line help. Why should I have faith in you? You went 8-8 last season. Why are you going to improve? You don't have draft picks. You don't have free agent pickups. Why? Do you have a quarterback that's going to take a big step forward? No. Do you have wide receivers that are going to take a big step forward? No. Do you have running backs that will take a big step forward? No. The only players that will take a big step forward potentially is Ronald Darby. He can actually really become one of the top 5 cornerbacks in this league. Okay. Behind him, who? There's no young player that I look at and I say, oh, this guy's going to take a big step forward and help this football team despite their lack of signings, despite their lack of draft picks. I just don't see it. It just doesn't exist on this football team, and that's my biggest problem. I'm not saying you're going to be horrible, but I'm saying you will take a step back. That's my argument. Let's look at the schedule. So you guys go up against the AFC North. Oh, and this is another argument, by the way. Last year, y'all got to face the AFC South, the AFC East, which you're in, and the NFC East. 3 easiest divisions of football. This year, things change. You guys go up against the AFC North. You go to Baltimore week 1, I think that's a loss. You guys go to Cincinnati week 11, I think that's a loss. You guys host Pittsburgh in week 14, I think that's a loss. Pittsburgh's really good. And then you guys host the Cleveland Browns, I think that's a win. 1-3 against that division. You guys are once again in the AFC East. Okay, I think you guys... I think it's 2-4. I think you lose both games to New England. Even with Jimmy Garoppolo starting there, they have a better defense than you. The offense is close, but they have a better defense than you. It's just the truth right now. And they're better well coached, as you should know. So I think you guys get swept by New England, but I think you split with the New York Jets, and I think you split with the Miami Dolphins. Yes, you guys swept the Jets last year, but that's not happening again. They're a better team than you. You got lucky last year, but it's not happening again. Okay, you guys go 2-4 there. You guys go up against the NFC West. Okay, much harder than the NFC East that you faced last year. You guys start week 3. You host Arizona. That's a tough team, a hard team. I think you guys will lose that football game. You guys host the San Francisco 49ers. I think you guys win that one. You guys go to the LA Rams in week 5. I think that's a toss-up, a true toss-up. But I have you guys losing this game. And then you guys, what's the other team you guys? Oh, the Seattle Seahawks in week 9. You guys go to Seattle. I think that's a loss. What is that? 1-3? That's another tough division. And then you guys have to go against the teams that finished concurrently in their respective divisions in the AFC against you guys. So that would be the AFC South team, the Jacksonville Jaguars, who finished 3rd in their division. You guys finished 3rd in your division. So that'd be the Jacksonville Jaguars. And then that'd also be the AFC West representative that finished 3rd. And that would be the Oakland Raiders at Oakland. I think that's a loss, but I do think you guys beat Jacksonville in Buffalo. I think it's 6-10. Now, best case scenario. Honestly, I think it's 8-8. I don't say you guys are going to be better. I mean, there's no reason to believe. The only hope is that you can say Tyrod Taylor missed 2 games, and then we lost those 2 games. But the other teams put up 34. Was Tyrod Taylor going to put up 35? I don't buy that. So I think it's 8-8 is the best case scenario, and then the worst case, it could get bad. And Rex Ryan could get fired early. In fact, I think he will, and then things go downhill real quick. Worst case scenario, I think it could be 4-12, and things can get really bad. So there you go. If you disagreed, feel free to comment down below why and subscribe, and just stay throughout me the entire season, because you can just tell me, hey, look at this, we're winning games, we're 4-0, you're wrong, you're an idiot. I'll be more than happy to oblige. So there you go. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to like, and most importantly to subscribe. And there you're playing my music. You know what that means. This has been the MJ Take on Sports Fan Entertainment, and I'm out.